am Carlos Villalon, and I am a photographer. I've been working in documentaries since 2000. In 2000, I moved to Colombia. Just went for like a few months, but then I decided to stay because I ran into make drug trafficking a little bit more human than what we read in the newspaper headlines, like about all these killings. In this particular case, farmers in southern Colombia, when they didn't have any cash on their hands, they were bartering this production of cocaine base they make at their own laboratories in the jungle. They were bartering this drug for food or for, clothing. So this documentary started like, I want to understand more about drug trafficking. So from there, I jumped into going to Mexico, which is very dangerous today. And recently I was working in a city called Medellin in Colombia, where you can see exactly the same things that are happening in Mexico, but with the only difference that the cocaine is produced in Colombia. So sometimes you go to very dangerous situations or young kids with guns and manufacturing this cocaine into little bags to sell on the streets. It is dangerous and something can go wrong, but I think when you tell people exactly what do you want to do and explain, and if they agree, at some point all this danger could be like outside the situation. I think it's the definitive story I worked on that marked my future or what I'm doing today, because I got so interested in these cultural aspects of the drug, because despite being a drug, it creates music, it has created architecture, it has created a couple of saints in Mexico and in Colombia, so it's like it has become with the years like a cultural thing, more than just like a white drug people put on their noses. When I saw this thing about people bartering cocaine in the Amazon jungle, I was impressed. So I continued working on this story for 3 years, and then at some point I knocked on the National Geographic doors, and the story was done and they decided to publish it. And one day at my home, a few months before the story is gonna come out in the magazine, and they call me and they say, congratulations, you got the cover too. To publish that story in that type of magazine to me was great, because it made justice to these people that wanted to tell their story, because there were like 22 pages in which I could explain exactly what was going on and show their pictures in a great gallery. You have to stick to your stories when you like them, and no matter how many years you work on them, but finally you're probably gonna see great results. I am Carlos Villalon. I'm a documentary photographer, and I'm represented by Redux Pictures in New York.